Full and uncut versions available on Patreon. Check in the description below.
Greetings once again, Pokemaniacs. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with more of the Pokemon Adventures manga, where previously the remaining Pokédex holders have banded together in order to find a way of getting Jirachi, the Wish Pokemon, and wishing the petrified Pokédex holders free. Unfortunately, the one to get to Jirachi first is Guile Hideout, also, spoiler alert, known as Archie of Team Aqua, still having ambitions and delusions of grandeur, of controlling the world through flooding it, and his wish to Jirachi after capturing it, create a monstrous version of Kyogre composed entirely of water that will flood the world at his command. And even with the addition of Gold and Crystal, with Gold showing up in a similar armor to Guile, which, did they even know what he looked like before the Battle Frontier? How did they commission that armor and get it so fast? Or did they just find similar armor? But with his wish granted, Archie dismisses Jirachi. So Emerald tries to get his wish granted, since Jirachi can do 3 at a given time. But unfortunately, Emerald is unable to, as Gold and Crystal try to keep Archie at bay. Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald take off in order to learn the special techniques that Red, Blue, and Green previously had learned, in order to unleash the power needed to hopefully best this monstrous version of Kyogre. But knowing that Emerald's past is hanging him up a little too much, Ruby and Sapphire ask him to talk about himself a little bit more. Maybe through that he can get his head in the game. And Emerald's past is an interesting one. A lot of his shortcomings, forgive the pun, and hang-ups involving his small stature, as well as his admiration for Crystal. And through this, Emerald, Ruby, and Sapphire are able to learn the special moves, just in time to see Gold and Crystal downed from their encounter with Archie. Things are looking rough for our heroes. Join me as I find out just what it takes to put Archie down for good, shall we? Chapter 333, The Final Battle, Part 6. After hitting the roof of the invisible house, I guess, Crystal and Gold are in rough shape. But Gold looks down and says to the others, "Hey, we've kept them occupied for you. You better have mastered those special moves by now, rookies." Oh god, this is why he should never be a senior. While Archie, should say Guile Hideout, falling out from above on the giant monster Kyogre. "You trainers are such pests. Away with you!" And so a massive attack is about to be unleashed, with the frontier brains reacting down below. Oh, got some of my favorite Pokemon in there too. Before the torrential downpour. You got Salamence, got Seviper. Okay, yep. And Jesus, the monster Kyogre just belly flops on top of the whole battle frontier, pretty much damn near drowning the frontier brains. I mean, if not actually drowning the frontier brains. While Scott, still in his spacecraft that now has a dome on top of it, is just panicking, saying, "It's sinking! My precious battle frontier!" Meanwhile, on the highest building, Guile watches the destruction, saying, "Wonderful, just wonderful. This is going better than I expected. And now for the room built out of solidified blocks of air, where you hid and learned your special move. You and your sneaky tricks." Oh, is he on the roof of the invisible house or whatever? But he points towards the Pokemon trainers, saying, "Go ahead and attack. This creature is one with the sea. Where do you intend to strike it?" But as Emerald sees his hero Crystal injured, he grows angry, saying, "How dare you hurt Crystal!" And he sends in all of his Pokemon. Well, the majority of them. All of them except Sceptile. Also, love me some Dusclops. He tells them to go, but Guile just laughs as he just manhandles all of them with his sword, launching Emerald and the others back. As Guile looks over all of them, he laughs. see that, he steps on the head of Mr. Mime, saying, "These Pokemon are tired out from all those battles. They're worthless now." But Emerald says, "Stop it. Get your foot off of..." But as Guile now has gone to stepping on the head of Mantine, he says, How odd that you object. You don't care about Pokemon, do you? You only care for Pokemon battles, isn't that right?" Emerald has no response to this as Guile says, "I heard you talking about it. These Pokemon don't have an ounce of strength left in them. Using them to fight a Pokemon battle is out of the question. You have no hope of winning. They're useless now. You might as well dispose of them. They aren't the only Pokemon in the world, you know. There's nothing wrong with liking Pokemon battles instead of Pokemon. Get rid of the ones you've used up. That's a far more efficient way to fight. Same goes for humans. It's pointless to keep junk like this around. They just take up space," he says, tapping his sword on the head of the petrified Silver, which, gets a bit of a bitter response from Gold and Crystal as Guile asks Emerald, "Isn't that right?" Emerald takes a moment, then says, "No, I wanted a friend I could open up to, someone I could connect with. I always wanted to have a friend." He says, thinking of his Pokemon, Scott, Todd, Frontier Brains, Crystal, Mr. Trick. Emerald says, "I don't like Pokemon battles. I like Pokemon and people who like Pokemon," much to the joy of the other Pokedex trainers, the non-responsive look of Guile, as well as Jirachi peeking in on the goings-on. But suddenly, the moon starts to come out. Pokedexes start to beat. Oh! He didn't phrase it as a wish, but Jirachi took it as one, because it was his heartfelt desire. Sapphire says, "Are Pokedexes, beeping? Are they resonating?" Emerald says, "Yes, but it doesn't make sense. I could understand them resonating if we just gathered here, but why now? The sound is different from before, too. Muffled somehow. Mine's making that noise, too." Crystal says, "And mine." Oh, Gold says, "Mine's making that noise, too." Crystal says, "And mine." Our 5 Pokedexes are resonating together? Sapphire says, "Wait, hold on a sec. It ain't just 5. I hear it somewhere else, too." Suddenly, as she says 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we see the rocks on the petrified Pokédex holders beginning to fall away. Sapphire says, "I hear the beeping from 10 different places." Gold says, 10 Pokédexes are... Or Ruby says, "all resonating together?" Emerald says, "Does that mean the petrification on the Pokédex holders continues to fall away?" Emerald questions, "Jirachi?" as his wish appears on the second of Jirachi's tag. Jirachi's third eye wide open. Ooh, yes. Yes. They're back, baby. Finally. And thus the petrified Pokédex holders are all freed. Red questions, "What?" Blue says, "Oh." Green goes, "Ah?" Just general grunt sounds from everyone. Even Silver's like, "Huh?" Emerald says, "They've come back to life. The wish came true." Gold says, "You did it, Emerald. You thought of a situation and saw this through to the end. And as soon as you expressed your true feelings, Jirachi saw you with its third eye. And so, the non-petrified Pokédex holders go racing over to the previously petrified Pokédex holders. Ain't that something?" Alright, on to the final battle, part 7 in chapter 334. All the Pokédex holders go running over to each other. Emerald seems to be taken aback a little bit, as we have Blue checking on his Pokemon, Green checking on hers, and Silver checking on his Feraligatr, which means Feraligatr. Silver then uses the bracelet on his wrist on Feraligatr. Feraligatr just absorbs the move, learning it literally in an instant. That's insane. Red checks on his Pokemon, while Yellow checks on hers, and they seem to be perplexed by something. Gold, knowing what they're after, points them out to the sea, where we see the 2 Pikachu, the surfing one and the floating one, waving at them. They've just been hanging out in the water this entire time. Gold says, "Red, look what I brought you." Hands over a new pair of clothes. Red says, "Great, I appreciate it. But, by the way, where are we?" much to Gold being taken off guard. Red says, we returned to Vermilion City from the Sevi Islands when suddenly there was a flash of light and Blue tells him, we can talk about that later, Red. It looks like we're faced with another evil we have to defeat. And for them, it's only been like a few minutes since they were dealing with Giovanni. Archerd, as Guile Hideout approaches saying, well, this is a surprise. Gold says, I'll say, all the Pokédex holders you're so scared of, all the Pokédex holders that you're so scared of are gathered in one place. Guile says, that's not what I'm talking about. Have you forgotten? My scheme can't be stopped, no matter how many Pokédex holders there are. All the Pokémon inside the battle tower, from the first floor to the 70th, are under my control. Oh God, get rid of all who stand against me, as he sends in a literal horde of Pokemon. God, it's like a Where's Waldo situation. Freaking chaos. But everyone's going in, fighting back to back. Red fights together with Gold. Green fights together with Sapphire. Emerald fights together with Yellow. Ruby fights together with Silver. While Blue fights together with Crystal. Guile proclaims, do you understand now, you fools? You cannot stop this land from sinking to the bottom of the sea. Oh, I was about to say, because Green asks, what is that? As the water Kyogre approaches the building. But then it's just like, oh, right, they don't know. They don't know what's going on. Oh, they got swept up in the water. Oh, man. I would not want to go swimming after this for a long time. God, it's like the opening to Sonic Adventure with the friggin' chaos coming through the building. Like, God. It's a sturdy building that it keeps holding up to all of this. As the water Kyogre passes through, Green does her best to recover while her Nidoqueen is doing its damnedest to hold back all the Pokemon. She says, I did say I wanted to see all 9 Pokedex holders gathered together in one place, but this wasn't exactly what I had in mind. Crystal calls out, 9 plus 1. There are 10 Pokedex holders now, Green. Green turns questioning, 10? Gold and Silver end up back to back. And Gold says, Silver, that ring hanging from your arm, that's... Silver says, yep. I don't know about the other 4. But I was still conscious even though I was a statue. Oh my God. He was what? The entire time? Oh, that's a special kind of hell. That is, I have no mouth, but I must scream kind of living hell. Just imagine if he was there like that for who knows how long. Oh God, no. 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 Oh no. I feel some kind of way about them losing out on years of their lives, but I don't want you to experience those years petrified. Regardless, Gold blushes, thinking, you were? Seriously? I only called you my buddy because I thought you couldn't hear me. Aw, Gold's catching feelings. Silver says, I concentrated on the ring you hung on my arm and tried to imagine my Feraligatr becoming more powerful than before. The others were training for the special moves nearby. That helped a lot. Oh, I see Swampert. I'm in there. I probably saw a lot more in that splash page, but yeah, I'm not going through all that. That's too many Pokemon all in one place. Which, kudos to the artist. Jeez, that's a lot to draw. Silver says, and now. Oh, and the ring falls off. Okay. I thought he had already figured it out before, but Sapphire sees this. Oh, and she's also riding on her Donphan. But she questions, are you kidding me? Ruby says, mastered the special move that fast? Gold turns saying, you guys were pretty fast too, you know? It took me 2 months to master it. Aw, getting that complex again. Meanwhile, Yellow calls out, we finally managed to all get together. Too bad we can't enjoy it. Gold says, why not? Let's enjoy it all out better together, Straw Hat. Yellow? I'm gonna need your help, though. Yellow questions this, while Ruby says, what are you talking about? That creature is the sea itself. Even if we attack it together, we'll never be able to get a clear shot at it. It keeps diving back into the sea. And we can't move from this spot. Sapphire questions, what now? Got a plan, Gold? Gold says, nothing so far. Which throws the others for a loop, while Silver just doesn't say anything. Sapphire questions, don't you ever have a plan? I think it's both Ruby and Sapphire who say that, while Gold just kind of ignores them. Meanwhile, Emerald on his dust cloud says, in that case, I've got an idea. Oh, thank God. They get actual children. Emerald whispers to Gold saying, Gold, could you... Gold says, Oh God, wonderful. Oh, jeez. Dude. He's just like, Gal Hideout says, this isn't an RPG. I'm not taking turns to let you whisper and strategize. As he hits him with his sword, a blast from his sword, specifically Emerald and Gold, as he says, how many times must I tell you? It doesn't make a difference whether there are 10 Pokédex holders or 1, whether you have a plan or not. Emerald says, as Guile has gotten a hold of Jirachi. Emerald calls out to Jirachi. Guile says, when I said I was surprised, I was talking about Jirachi. I didn't realize the number of wish tags stood for the number of wishes it could grant, which means there is still 1 wish left. Like, I thought it was just aesthetic. As he walks off with Jirachi, Gold says, darn it, we were told to save that last wish tag. Emerald says, Gold, just do what I asked you to. I'll go after Guile. Gold says, gotcha. And he calls out his Pichu, who, gives Emerald something, then takes off. While Emerald jumps on his Dusclops, and they follow behind Guile, and he tells his Dusclops to use Shadow Punch. But Guile, the back turn, manages to deflect it with his sword, which, that's kinda badass. Guile says, what a fool you are. Have you forgotten how many times I've blocked attacks like this? You couldn't even fulfill your mission to protect Jirachi. Give up already. I have an idea. It might be amusing to rid myself of you pests by using Jirachi. Emerald is shocked as Guile says, I captured Jirachi. I may have abandoned Jirachi, but I haven't released it yet. It's still my Pokemon, so I'm free to use it any way I like. Jirachi, Doom, Desire. He tries to unleash the attack on Emerald, while Gold calls out to Emerald. Also, there's Red, who I feel like we hadn't really seen for a hot minute. But then Emerald and Dusclops look at each other saying, nothing happened. Guile says, don't you know? The effects of this move takes place slightly after the attack is deployed. Perfect timing. Your friends are coming over to help you. So now I can blow you all sky high at once. As Red and Gold make their way over to Emerald, Red releasing his Poliwrath, Emerald says, stay back. Wasn't sure what happened, but Poliwrath pushes Emerald out of the way, and they get hit by the attack. Poliwrath, Red, and Gold. As Guile laughs, a direct hit. Emerald turns angry, saying, that's low. If you want to fight me. Gold tries to stand up, saying, yeah, you and your dirty tricks. Okay, Guile, it's over. I give up. He then sticks his tongue out, saying, like I would really ever say that. What an idiot. That punkish determination. Suddenly, something's moving around Guile, and we see that it's Poliwrath using Double Team. Damn, this is fun. It's always great to see all these personalities on display, how they interact and bounce off of each other. What makes them kind of riles them up in the situation and gets them to defend one another. All good stuff. All right, chapter 335, the final battle, part 8. Coming down to the wire. The battle tower is living up to its name because, man, there's so many battles happening here. As Poliwrath uses Double Team, circling around Guile. Guile says, why, you little... chokes him. Where's the real one? On the right? On the left? And suddenly Gold's Politoed is right underneath him. As Guile says, below me? As Politoed just leaps up and smacks Guile in the face. The ultimate tag team, Poliwrath and Politoed. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It was also a great plan. I love the two of them striking a pose together. It's been a while since we got to see these two work together. I guess it's Red saying Polly rushed over and skims past the attack using double team. While Gold says, meanwhile, Polybo used the opportunity to approach Guile and attack him from his blind spot. Emerald says, oh no, Red says, I'm impressed. You managed to execute my plan so quickly and precisely. Gold says, why the surprise? We've been practicing this combination move millions of times at Mount Silver. It's a piece of cake, Red. Aww, they feel like brothers sometimes. And I love the contrast in their relationship too. Gold is really close to Silver, but his relationship with Red is something special. Guile roars in anger, and he sends in his Surskit and Walrein, which his Surskit evolves into Masquerain. Oh, wow, it actually evolved. Dang. That's always cool to see mid-battle. Masquerain clashes with Politoed, while Walrein clashes with Poliwrath. Oh, they managed to flip over both, leaving them in a heap. And Poliwrath and Politoed leap in towards Guile. Oh, dang. Did they use cut? Or was it just chop? Regardless, they completely cut off the armor of Guile hideout, leaving him as Archie. But no, he had some reason he couldn't be out of the armor though. Regardless, as the armor falls away, Gold says, how's that? You feel a lot lighter now? Now's our chance. Ready, rookies? As he calls out to, oh geez, all the other Pokédex wielders who have brought out all their Pokemon. Ruby calls out, ready, as we see Silver's Feraligatr, Ruby's Swampert, Green's Blastoise, Crystal's Meganium. Yellow's just kind of there without any Pokemon really out that I can see. Emerald's Sceptile, Red's Venusaur. Oh, their Pokemon alert. Blue's Charizard, which, did they ever trade their Pokemon back? They had traded before they got petrified. Did they exchange their Pokemon back? Sapphire's Blaziken as she calls out, ready! And Gold's Typhlosion. Gold, as he helps Red over, says, oh, look at that. Red says, we'll be right there. Ruby says, we've lined up like you asked us to, but Sapphire says, how are you gonna drag that thing out of the water? Gold says, don't worry about that. My Pichu has joined the two Pikachu below, and they're taunting it. Aw, it's a family effort. It is the cutest thing that you have to have this family just all helping out each other in conjunction as they're just unleashing all this electricity into the water. Gold says, we're up against a tsunami with a mind of its own. If they keep provoking it, and up from the depths, 30 stories high, prehistoric, it spans in the sky. Kyogre dum da dum, Kyogre dum da dum. If you know where that's from, please put that in the comments below. You are a awesome fan if you do know. But out of the depths comes the monstrous Kyogre, sending Red's Pikachu as well as Pichu off their board to be caught by Yellow's Pikachu, because she knows the move Fly because of the balloons, which is adorably cute but silly. Gold says, good, we've managed to drag it out. We can attack it now. As Ruby helps Red, calling out to him, Sapphire helps Gold, saying, you two, Gold, hurry! Oh, but someone has grabbed onto Gold's hand. It's none other than Archie, which I can call him now because he's out of the armor. As he says, never. I won't let you do that. You stopped all those Pokemon, so what? I just need to gather all the rental Pokemon from the battle frontier here, and Emerald says, go ahead. Oh, dang, like a badass. He says, call as many Pokemon as you want, but not a single one of them will follow your orders. Archie turns, questioning, what? Why not? Like, but why? Emerald says, because I surrounded them while Gold and Red were keeping you busy. I used my mud. That wouldn't really tell anyone much, but I used my mud to encircle the entire battlefront here. Jesus. Oh, that's where these guys have been. We see Latios and Latias, as well as Scott in his saucer and Todd in a boat, using the mud as well as the string that keeps it going, which how much string is there in that thing? Freaking hell, Trickmaster. But they've used it to create a giant diamond around the entirety of the battle frontier. So I guess he just used up all the mud that he had. I would think that it only worked within a confined area. I didn't think it would be able to cover such a large area or have an effect across such a large area. But I don't know the particulars of how this all works, so Bugold says, understand now, you dope? See ya. Oh, what? As we see that the hand that Archie was holding on to was one of Emerald's mechanical hands. Gold, why did you have that? I don't know why you had that. Why? And even Crystal's like, that's Emerald's broken mechanical hand. Like, buddy, why? Why? And Silver just says, huh? You know him. Like, no, that doesn't explain squat. As Gold and Emerald make their way into the building, Gold says, yeah, do it. And as the giant Kyogre rises up, Emerald shouts, attack, together. We have Silver's Feraligatr, Ruby's Swampert, and Green's Blastoise all using triple hydro cannon. We have, so he did get back his Charizard, Blue's Charizard, Sapphire's Blaziken, and Gold's Typhlosion using triple blast burn. While you have Emerald's Sceptile, Crystal's Meganium, and Red's Venusaur using triple frenzy plant. And these are some cool shots. Yeah. Honestly, I would have loved it if they had made it so that every page was each of the trios all performing their attack. But you gotta give the main character of this arc the biggest page. That was the end of the chapter. I was gushing over it too. Alright, chapter 336, the final battle. Part 9. As all 9 Pokemon unleash their attack, it punches a massive hole right through the heart of the giant Kyogre. While you have Todd on his boat watching with Latias, and they're just pouring on the attack. Blue says, which Blue has barely talked throughout all of this, it's working, but it's not doing enough damage. Sapphire says, but we're doing everything we can. Gold says, not everything. Yellow, now's your chance to help us. Yeah, I thought about it when I said it's just like, 9 Pokemon working together. I'm like, wait, 9? Oh yeah, Yellow doesn't have one of the traditional starters. What's she gonna do? Even Yellow questions how. Crystal tells her, oh, that's right. Pika, Choo-Choo, and Pichu, they've all mastered a new move, just like the others. Yellow questions, a new move? It's the Rising Thunder, but now it's called by its proper name. As Yellow looks to the monstrous Kyogre, she commands all 3 of the 2 Pikachu and the 1 Pichu to use Volt Tackle together as they come rocketing through from another angle, just punching through Kyogre. So it's like an X running through the thing's body. Oh man, and it pops like a balloon. just all that force and impact, just the world's biggest water balloon pops on impact. Oh man, as if the battle frontier wasn't already wet enough. Man, I hope everyone got safety, because god damn, to have been on the floor when all of this was going down. Everyone all now very soaking wet. Emerald says, that thing exploded. 10 Pokedex holders, 12 Pokemon, and their combined special moves. Oh, but Ruby, Crystal, Sapphire, and Gold all react to Emerald because as Ruby says, hey, they see that his hair's down now because of all the water. Gold kind of chuckles. Ruby says, hey, that's a pretty cool hairstyle. Sapphire says, so that's what you look like when you let your hair down. Crystal even says, I'd almost forgotten. Although Emerald's embarrassing, shut up, while everyone laughs. We have fun. We see that all the rental Pokemon have been soothed by the mud shot, the massive mud shot. As Ruby says, those agitated Pokemon are completely relaxed now. The green orb was created to control Rayquaza. Emerald looks to the crystal on his forehead as Ruby says, the old power must have helped you gain control over all those hundreds of violent Pokemon. Oh, is that the explanation we're going for? Oh, okay. I guess I'll take that. I feel like Ruby's BSing, but whatever. Emerald says, yeah. Emerald says, hey, shouldn't you be admiring his skill in figuring out where all those Pokemon are from instead of the accessory on his forehead? But Crystal seems to think for a moment and says, about that pellet gun shoots out mud pellets from their homeland, right? I can't believe all the Pokemon here are from the same place. Where did you get all those mud pellet shots that you shot at them? Gold says, curious, Chris? Show her, Emerald. Emerald says, sure. As he shows out the mud shot that says Faraway Island. Oh, is it because since Mew is the originator, said to be one of the almost like a primordial originator of all Pokemon, it's in their DNA? Wait, are we saying that Mew was born on Faraway Island? Huh. Ruby questions, Faraway Island? Gold says, it's the island where mythical Pokemon Mew used to live. I love Blue and Red looking at each other like, wait, what? Oh, because, wait, do they even know that Mew helped them in the story arc? No, they don't. I don't think they do. So yeah, I think this would be the first time they're hearing about Mew in literal years. But Gold says an old sea captain named Briny landed there and gathered mud to bring to Ultima and delivered that mud to Emerald just now. Hey, a letter saying if any human sets foot here again, let it be a kind-hearted papers in the hope I disappear. Wait, what's that note? What is that note? Huh. Okay, Gold says Mew is special among Pokemon. I brought the mud with me because Ultima said it might come in handy, but there's more to it than that. It had the Pokédex reading say Mew, the new species Pokemon. Mew is said to possess the genes of all Pokemon. It is capable of making itself invisible at will, so it will entirely avoid notice, even if approached by people. Oh, I didn't even know that was... I never read that entry. Okay, huh, interesting. But Gold says Mew is said to possess the genes of all Pokemon. The mud was from Mew's Island. Oh, I guess it's Emerald who said the mud was from Mew's Island. I get it now. Or was that Ruby? I'm not really sure who said that. Gold pats Emerald on the head saying, well done, Emerald. I'm proud of you. And Emerald says, thanks. Crystal. She probably doesn't like him being influenced, positive or not, because it is Gold. Emerald then turns and sees something. He races off, Crystal and Gold questioning what he's doing. But as he leaps out and lands on the invisible roof, he brings Archie out of the water, much to the shock of everyone else. Ruby says, get away from him, Emerald. Sapphire says he's dangerous, but Emerald says don't worry, he doesn't have the strength to fight anymore. He's lost his armor and sword too. All the rental Pokemon you were controlling have been freed. If you don't change your bad attitude, you're gonna end up all alone in the world. Aw. You're trying to teach him a lesson. A very exhausted and kind of emaciated looking Archie just gazes up at him, breathing heavily, and then smiles saying, alone, huh? Fine. That is a choice I have already made. I discarded those who respected me. I disbanded my organization. I even turned my back on the only person I might have called a friend, my rival who I had fought against for so long. That is the kind of man I am. Okay, what does that all mean? He discarded Maxie, and he does feel bad for what he did to Amber to some degree, or he at least feel some kind of way about it. Also, have you not changed your clothes in all these years? Because your one arm is still, the sleeve is still ripped from when the orb was taking you over. Like, man, those things must smell rank. Ruby questions, what do you mean? Archie, with a maniacal look in his eyes, says, shall I tell you about it? Some time ago, we were trapped together inside a huge ball of energy above Sootopolis City. We had lost the two orbs. Maxie and I were preparing to meet our doom, but just then. Is that Surd? Okay. What? Okay, I was told she had a bigger role to play in the grand scheme of things, but But just then, someone suddenly opened the roof of the air car. That shouldn't have been possible, but it is Surd. Wait, where are they? We stepped outside the air car and we had been transported to a different place. It's hard to describe, but we found ourselves inside a strange shining light with the one who had freed us. As Archie and Maxie approached the person who had saved them, who was floating on top of a starmie, Surd says, "Wonderful, such potential for evil. What a pity to let you perish here." Archie asks, "Are you going to help us?" Surd says, "No. It's too late for that. As I thought, your bodies are about to fall apart. Absorbing the orb into you is definitely not a good idea." Wait, why would their bodies start falling apart? Oh, wait, was the armor keeping them alive? Or did Maxie die? However, that doesn't mean it's impossible, as she shows off a suit of armor. Archie asks, "What's that?" Maxie questions, "A sword?" Archie says, "And armor." Surd says, "Exactly. A sword named Instant, and a suit of armor named Eternity. The sword is made of a metal that repels any physical or special attack. If you wear the armor, you will live for an eternity, unlike those in the outside world." Where the frick did you get this? Maxie questions, "Unlike those in the outside." Archie questions, "An eternity?" Surd says, "The flow of time inside this armor is far slower than it is on the outside. In other words, it has a similar effect as Mirage Island, which appears in Hoenn every now and then." Archie and Maxie smile with glee. Archie saying, "You mean?" Surd says, "That's right. You have only a limited time until your bodies fall apart. You will perish. That feature cannot be altered. But what if you could stretch out your limited time into an eternity?" Maxie sneers, saying, "That would be the same as being saved." Well, Archie says, "That's fine, as long as we survive. Give us that armor." Surd laughs, "Us? You misunderstand me. I only have one sword and one suit of armor. You must fight to determine which of you deserves it. Fight by rooting out the weaker evil. The potential for evil shall be heightened into a purer state." As both Archie and Maxie resolve themselves, they bring out their Pokeballs for one more fight. A cold shiver runs through Sapphire as she says, "Archie, did you get rid of Maxie?" Oh God. Well, Ruby thinks, now I understand what he meant back then. He wasn't using the armor to hide his identity. He is using it to stop the flow of time around his body. As Ruby remembers Archie's words, "Oops, I was warned not to show my face for too long." Archie says, "That's right, I won. I was awarded the sword and armor." As, Surd in them legs. I just gotta say, he watches Guile put on his armor, saying, "It suits you well." As Guile swings around the sword, Surd says, "If you bear your sword to bring harm upon us with claws and fangs, we will exact a toll." Hey, what? "A newborn person should have a new name. I will christen you with a name that represents you. What is the goal of your evil scheme? Tell me, how have you lived your life up until now? And how will you live from now on?" Archie says, "The sea, water, Pokemon. That's right. I longed for the sea. I came this far with an army of water-type Pokemon. That won't ever change. My most fervent desire is to control everything with the power of the sea." Surd says, "Very well then." She brings out a pen and paper and writes the name Guile, saying, "You wear a suit of armor, and you flow with the tides of the sea. You are ruled by deceit, by Guile. Archie says, "That's when I learned about Jirachi." Emerald says, "Okay, that's enough. It's over now. We'll figure out a way to stop you from disintegrating." But as he reaches for Archie, Masquerain pops out of the water, keeping Emerald at bay. Ruby calls out, "Archie!" while Sapphire says, "Are you still?" Archie gets up, saying, "That's right. Stay there. Don't move." He goes over to where his armor fell off, saying, "Armor. Where is my armor?" "Ah, found it." As he starts putting on the pieces, he says, "As long as I have this armor, it can slow down time, my limited time. transformed into an eternity. Jirachi still has one more wish tag left. I'll use it to summon the sea. But Emerald says that armor, that's the fake armor Gold was wearing. Yeah, you see the eye on the opposite side. Archie screams out in terror as he throws down the armor. While Gold says, see, the fake armor saved the day after all, Chris. I knew it would from the start. While Ruby, Sapphire, and Crystal all think, liar. Archie says, the real. As he goes looking around, he sees it inside the building saying, the real. He goes for the armor. But there's a sudden flash of light, blinding Emerald. Oh, and then Archie's gone. The Pokédex holders say he disappeared. The sword, the armor, and Archie too. Ruby says, it's over. It's finally really over. Sapphire says, isn't that right, Emerald? But then they lean in when he doesn't respond and see that Gold says he fell asleep. Which, yeah, a lot of excitement. The Pikachus and Pichu come running over to the Dex holders. One Pikachu, red reunited with his Pikachu, yellow reunited with hers. As everyone makes their way inside of the building, Latios and Latias watch from afar. Latias saying, I'm so happy for you, Em. We've been watching over you. You finally found people to be close to. While Latios says, Em's not alone anymore. We vowed to stay by Em's side until this day arrived. That was our promise to him. We fulfilled it. He'll be fine now. Promise to him? Who? And we can return to Southern Island. Take care. And Latios and Latias take off. What's on Southern Island? Latios and Latias? Yeah. Okay, I'm not really willing to read all the information on this in the wiki. Interesting. They say no Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Had that already come out at this point? Oh no, it's a Gen 3 thing. Okay. So it did show up in Ruby and Sapphire. Okay. Interesting. You see a passed out Emerald. You see Scott and the Frontier Brains all as okay as possible, as well as Todd, as dawn arises on the battle frontier. No longer underwater, thankfully, though a bit wetter for wear. Okay, so I instantly realized, hey, there's another emblem. He got the one from Annabelle for some reason. I guess all that's left is Tucker. It's chapter 337, the last chapter of the volume. Epilogue. Emerald wakes up in the hotel saying, I slept so much. And oh God, he goes to pee outside of the balcony. God damn it. This kid, Crystal calls out to him, hey, we see that everybody else is in the room while he's doing this. And Emerald just casually says, oh, good morning. Gold says, it's not morning, it's practically evening. Todd says, you were asleep for half a day. Emerald says, oh, where are my Pokemon? Sceptile and Dusclops go rushing over to him and hug him. Emerald says, huh? Where are the other four? Red says, the Pokemon made friends with each other a lot faster than we did. Your Snorlax is with my Snore. Gold says, your Manatine and Sudowoodo are with my T-Bow and Sudowoodo. And Crystal says, your Pokemon became good friends with my Mimey, too. Gold says, wow, you're not kidding. Yep. The Snorlaxes are hanging out. The Mr. Mime are hanging out. The Mantine are hanging out. The Sudowoodo are hanging out. As well as the Espeon and the Ditto. Emerald says, look at how friendly they are with each other. Annabelle calls out for Emerald as Emerald's styling his hair back as all the Frontier Brains enter along with their Pokemon. Well, at least Raikou and Umbreon. And they really got a little messed up with everything that went on. Emerald says, Annabelle and the rest of the Frontier Brains. Annabelle says, thank you so much for everything. This attack couldn't have been repelled without your help. Todd's taking pictures as they all talk. Annabelle says, the Frontier was saved from submersion under the sea, and the press and trainers are all safe as well. Now we can finally officially open the battle frontier. I mean, is it in okay enough condition to be opened? Like, god damn, after all this. Emerald says, it was nothing. Annabelle says, I brought you this as in return. As Emerald sees the, ability symbol? Yeah, ability symbol. Emerald says, oh, but this is, Annabelle says, yes, proof that I recognize your ability as a trainer, the ability symbol. Emerald questions, I get it for free? Annabelle says, funny you should say that. You climbed up the battle tower to the 70th floor to battle me. I'm surprised I remember it since I was being controlled at the time, but I do, and clearly. Emerald, even though Guile lured you into that trap, You made sure to fight me without breaking any of the rules, didn't you? Ruby and Sapphire are shocked to hear this, as Annabelle says, you stood inside the trainer circle without crossing the line. You used the correct number of Pokemon and moves, and you rejected help from others. Oh, that's why he said that. Ruby and Sapphire remember Emerald saying, don't. There's a battle between Annabelle and me. You stay out of it. Oh, I questioned why he had that mindset. Huh, dang. Annabelle says, in other words, that battle was your Battle Tower challenge, so I see no reason not to give you the symbol. You earned it. Emerald says, thanks. Todd says, that's great, Emerald. Emerald places the symbol with the other, saying, that means I have 6 symbols now. Emerald then realizes something, saying, Annabelle? What day is it today? Annabelle says, July 6th. What about it? And Emerald turns to Todd, saying, tomorrow's the 7th day then. Todd says, Emerald races past Annabelle with Todd, saying, I totally forgot. I just need to beat one more facility to complete the Battle Frontier challenge. Todd says, Dome. Ruby says, does this seem familiar to you? Sapphire says, Yep. There's a reason for that. It actually is fun seeing all the ways in which Emerald is similar to Ruby and Sapphire. But Emerald hangs on to Tucker while Todd slides on his knee saying, I'm begging you too. Emerald says, Tucker, Mr. Tucker, I know this isn't the best time to ask, but may I challenge you at the Battle Dome? I only have one more day left. Tucker says, it's fine. I'd be happy to. Fortunately, the dome wasn't damaged too badly. It's still in service, but unfortunately, my facility is a tournament for multiple trainers. Red says, a tournament, huh? That caught his attention. Yellow questions, you've got an idea, Red? Red goes over to the window saying, in that case, why don't we have a tournament together? Much to the shock of everyone there. He says, just kidding, though. But Scott slams his hand. Oh, no, he slams open the door saying, what a great idea! Annabelle says, Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott says, I authorize this exception to my rules in appreciation for the huge disaster you helped avert. All 10 of you Pokédex holders can fight with all of your might. Tucker's in no state to participate anyway, so I'll give the tactic symbol to whoever wins the tournament. Tucker says, Mr. Scott. Though Scott says, that's what you told me yesterday, remember? Gold says, something fishy is going on here. Hey, you just want to use our tournament to attract business. You want to put on a huge show with celebrity trainers so you can rake in a ton of money, don't you? Isn't that right? And Scott has no response. Let's face it, Gold. You're on the same wavelength because you do the same thing. Gold says, and what about that favor you asked us for? Leave one of Jirachi's wish tags for you? What wish are you going to have Jirachi grant you? Well, what are you going to wish for? Scott says, actually, I've already made my wish. Gold says, you have? We hear a rumbling outside, across the water. Green says, I hear something from across the sea. What could it be, Silver? Ruby looks out the window saying, oh, Jirachi. There's something written on the 3rd wish tag that we didn't use. We see Jirachi's already asleep and it's starting to wrap itself in its little frill thingies. Ruby gets out some paper saying, can you see it, Sapphire? Sapphire says, it's a piece of cake from so close. Ruby says, okay, write it down on this. He hands her a pen and paper. He says, I think this is what it says. Blue grabs it saying, let me see. Sapphire hands it over saying, yeah. And Blue is taken aback by what he reads. Gold says, what does it say, Blue? What was Mr. Scott's wish? Silver says, that sound from the sea is getting closer. Blue reads it out for everyone present, saying, quoting, I wish the Battle Frontier would have a lot of customers, preferably 100,000 people on the first day. Oh, snap. Yo, it's DJ Mary and the radio producer. Oh, it's the daycare couple. It's, what was his name? Kurt and his granddaughter. I think there's Professor Elm. Oh, the fisherman there's too. We have Ultima. Oh, Lorelei. As well as Bill, Celio. Oh, Green's parents. Oh, they get to see her. Oh, is that the Safari Zone warden? And Riley? Has Riley even made an appearance in the manga like that? Wait, what game does he initially appear in? Diamond and Pearl. Okay, so this is just bait for Diamond and Pearl. And then there's Gabby, Ty, Trickmaster. Oh, it's the little blind boy and the swimmer, as well as the two girls, Bridget and Lynette. And you got the SS Aqua. Is it like all the ships? What ships are there? Okay, the SS Sinnoh. Did we ever take the SS Sinnoh? I don't think we ever did. No. SS Sinnoh is from Diamond and Pearl. Yeah, okay. I'm like, wait a minute. Sinnoh is, yeah, no. Why would that be? Oh, okay, that's just, yeah, you are sequel baiting. So you got the SS Sinnoh from Sinnoh, you got the SS Title from Hoenn, the SS Aqua from Johto, and the Sea Gallop from Kanto, because the SS Anne got sunk. Jeez, all the multiple forms of sea transportation. Okay. Emerald watches from the window as Jirachi seals itself away, and he thanks Jirachi. Good night, Jirachi, and thank you. It's as if my wish has come true too. I mean, yeah, friends who love Pokemon. I didn't know that was gonna be the wish. That's so nice. And we have the trainers talk amongst themselves. Ruby questions, can this facility handle such a big crowd? Sapphire says, no problem. I love loud and crowded places. Green says, I'll show you what I've got. After all, Mom and Dad are watching me. Oh, Blue says, she's so annoying. Oh, Silver just doesn't say anything to this. Yellow says, wow, so many people. Red says, looks like we have no choice but to hold the tournament now. Chris says, let's do it. Oh, Gold says, huh? You're participating too, Chris? And then we cut to a month later. Of course, we wouldn't end up seeing it. Dang. Are we ever going to find out who won? Oak says, we cut to Professor Oak's laboratory where he says, so, you really did it. A tournament with 10 Pokedex holders. Oh, we see the various Pokedexes too. Crystal says, we did, Professor Oak. Oak says, it must have been quite a show. By the way, Chris, could you place those 10 Pokedexes over there? Crystal says, here's the tournament chart. Oak says, oh, let me see. Who? Wow. So, Blue took on Ruby. I feel like maybe Blue would win that. Green took on Crystal. Kind of feel like Crystal would win that. Oh, Red took on whoever won on that one. Between Crystal and Red. Even if he took on Green, I feel like Red would win. It would come down to Blue and Red. It could go either way with Red and Blue. Emerald versus Yellow, Emerald. Gold versus Sapphire, Sapphire. And the winner would take on Silver. Should it be Gold who wins over Sapphire? I don't know. If we just go off of seniority, then Blue would win over Ruby, Green would win over Crystal, Red would win over Green, Green and Blue would face over, and it would be Red who comes to the finals. Then it would be Yellow would win over Emerald, Gold would win over Sapphire, Gold would win over Silver, then between Gold and Yellow would win. It would come down to Red and Yellow. I don't know about that though. Crystal says, I was defeated in the first battle I was up against. I was up against Green, so so she did lose to Green. Dang. I'm sorry, I kind of hyped you up on that one from the start. Oak says, what's this? Crystal says, it's a group photo we took after the tournament. Oak says, nice picture. Y'all look very happy. Who took this? Crystal says, oh, that photographer who was following Emerald around. Todd, tracking his achievements. See, now he sounds like a stalker. He took a lot of wonderful pictures. Oak says he certainly did. Do you have his contact information? Oh, this is the beginning of Pokemon Snap. It says, what? Yes, I do. And Oak is on his Pokegear saying, oh, hello, nice to speak with you. I'm Oak. I had the opportunity to see your photos. Oh, yes, not at all. I can see you're quite a skilled photographer. There's a place I'd like you to go for me. Oh, yeah, it is the beginning of Pokemon Snap, an island populated by a variety of Pokemon. Todd says, yes, a record of Pokemon through photos? Of course, that sounds like a great job. I accept. All right. That's such a great little tie into thing. I love how the people working on this really thought through so many different elements. I mean, they might not get to everything they probably should. Again, sorry you got left out, Wally, but still. Oak taps his shoulder saying, phew, things are finally peaceful again. Crystal looks over at the photos, especially the one of Guile, saying, I hope so. Oh, we cut back to when Archie was looking for the armor, saying the real armor. Crystal runs over saying, wait, there's something I want to ask you. Who gave you that sword and armor? Archie turns and Crystal asks, what was their name? Oh, okay. Yep. We really setting up done. Wait, so Third was working for Team Galactic? Huh. But that would mean they've been behind things for a good long time. But just as Archie ekes out the words, you see that bright light cut back to present day where Oak calls out for Chris. Chris, are you listening to me? What is it? You look worried again. Crystal in a panic says, oh no, I'm fine. You wanted me to type up an email for you, didn't you? Oak says, that's right. This new Pokédex mechanism I've been working on with a senior researcher of mine is almost complete. That was the reason I had you collect everybody's Pokédex. I need him to visit me in Kanto soon. Crystal is typing up a letter saying, please come to Kanto for the final test. And Professor Rowan, okay, yep, Diamond and Pearl. He's in the Sinnoh region, right? I'll send that message right away. And she presses send, and it's sent. Oh, cool. We see a nice little kind of splash cover page. Nice little last picture of everyone. Okay, I had to see if I could find it real quick. Here's the picture. It is a very good picture. I love seeing yellow with all the Pikachus and stuff. See, I don't know how I feel about Ruby and Sapphire wearing those colors. I'm not saying it's bad, but I kind of just like them when they're more game-accurate colors. It is a good picture, though. And then final shot of all the Pokédexes and Emerald's collection of the symbols and stuff. Yellow has the only remaining original Pokédex. I'm glad at least one survived, and it was Red's old one. Alright, end of the Emerald art. And so the story arc has come to an end. It has been a absolutely fun and fantastic ride, especially considering how it connects to so many previous story arcs too. It brings so many things full circle into a nice little bit of an end. Very much like Celebi's appearance, or freaking Celebi's various different appearances. And yeah, because Celebi's had 2 different appearances, and this time around it got to be Jirachi who was the one to appear and just help out at the final moment and all that. I wish we got a little bit more of Jirachi, but because of the conditions of Jirachi's appearances, it could only be so involved. But even Mew, I kind of like it when these mysterious Pokemon do something mysterious and mythical. I'm glad everyone got freed. I would have loved to have known who won. Technically, Emerald should have won if he still got the symbol, or maybe someone just handed the symbol to him in the end. It's hard to say, but that final moment was great with all the ships coming in. It really did feel like a celebration of everything that could go on. The only downside is with so many characters in the end, the spotlight could only go to so many different characters. So it very much feels like Red and Blue were especially underplayed, but it wasn't really their arc, But Third connected to Team Galactic. But why? To what end? Blind Tenley, I will admit, I don't know that much about Team Galactic because when I was watching Diamond and Pearl, I don't know if I got that far because I stopped at some point during Diamond and Pearl. That's when I fell off of the anime, but I watched a lot of Diamond and Pearl. That's the thing. So I don't know if I ever got to Cyrus and his group. So yeah, this is the point where we start to head into territory that I'm completely unfamiliar with. We'll get to a point in Diamond and Pearl where I just go, yeah, I have no idea who that is. Interesting. Okay, a sword and armor that could stop time and reflect attacks though. Is Team Galactic that technologically advanced? And Todd heading over to that island where Pokemon Snap takes place. That's such a fun connection though. I wonder if we'll ever even get to see that in the actual manga. Maybe not. Might just be alluded to. But they're setting up Diamond and Pearl hard, very hard. So I'm really left wondering, man. But then again, I guess it was running kind of concurrently with everything going on here. Yeah, they really wanted to get into that Diamond and Pearl storyline. So with all this build-up, it better pay off pretty damn good. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What was your favorite part? Who do you think won? Who's your favorite Pokédex holder in all of this? I want to hear from you. Tell me everything in the comment section below. Also remember to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din and hope to see you later. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.